Time to see what the wizards are up to.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everyone. How are you? Thanks for joining us. It's been a busy week,
Yes.
launching the Kickstarter. We will be talking about the Heroes Dungeons Kickstarter a bunch today and taking questions. Looks like, thanks, Matthew, for the congrats. We are thrilled that we have so much interest in Hero Realms Dungeons. And we have someone logging in from a work meeting. Hello, Double Dubs. And hello from Quebec. Sounds great. And hi, David. So I have really quick, a couple marketing things, and then Rob is going to chat as much as everyone wants to about Heroes Dungeons today. So first of all, I just wanted to mention that we do have a giveaway for Dungeons. So if you are interested in joining this is actually a Gleam giveaway. So if you haven't already liked and joined all of our social media pages, this is a great way to enter into a giveaway. While doing it, I'll add the link in the comments when Rob is speaking. And also, you can do things like check out our Board Game Geek page daily to get an entry. You can also, I think there was one other one that you can do daily, so that it's not just joining our. So I tried to make them pretty easy, so because I know sometimes people have trouble with Gleam, so some of them are just check out this particular web page, and yeah, so check that out. I'll put the link below. And the winner for that, it's a worldwide giveaway, will get a copy of the game with unlocked stretch goals. It's actually the adventure tier, which Rob is going to talk about what you get. That is the tier with all of the new characters. So it's definitely an awesome prize. And then we will be doing a blog post about our convention schedule. The next major convention we're going to be at is at PAX East in March. But we also have some smaller local conventions. Rob and I will be at TotalCon in Marlborough in February. We'll be at something called the Indie Board Game Showcase in Boston. We're also going to Granite Game Summit this year, and we'll be doing, our usual schedule of shows, but we're working on a blog post that will go into detail of our full event schedule for the year so that people can plan to hopefully come and see us at a convention. That would be great. And I also wanted to mention Derek is live streaming Heroes Dungeons on Wednesday evenings at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We do post about this on our social media as well, but I wanted to mention it. In Darwin, and sometimes guest streamers on Saturday morning stream Star Realms. So if you aren't following us on Twitch and you like to watch live stream play, give us a click. And and on Wednesdays it's been really fun to watch Derek play the new characters. He's been playing Alchemist and Barbarian.
Yeah, so we have something I've talked about on previous streams. We have the new Dungeons content live on a beta server. So you can, if you are a Legends level backer of the Hero Realms Digital, we have a special server available where you can play the new dungeon set. It's been on there for a couple months. We've been gathering data on that, making some tweaks to the game based on that data. We've added the Barbarian and the Alchemist to that as well, and we're going to continue to add the new characters to that beta server. Purpose of that beta server is to get a lot of test data in with all these different all the different treasure cards, all the different skill and ability tree choices, see how all the characters do in all the different matchups versus all the different existing characters and versus each other, so we can then make adjustments before we go to print on this Kickstarter. So it's a really phenomenal opportunity for us to get a great level of balance to the game, and to and for our biggest fans to be able to check out the new content early before it's before it's even printed. You guys will get to play it on the special beta server, and you can see Derek playing there. If you are not a Legends backer but want to be a Legends backer for digital, get a whole bunch of cool benefits. They get cool cosmetics like alternate art gold that are exclusive. They've get extra avatar art. And they also get every single set that comes out in the app for free for the life of the app, and also unlimited gems in the app. So when we start doing things like in-app tournaments and such, they'll be able to, Legends backers be able to join as many tournaments as they want. Any cosmetics they want to buy, any additional game slots, all those sorts of things that will be in the app for gems, all that's free for Legends backers. So if you are interested in becoming a Legend backer, we have a limited time thing on our Shopify store during this Hero Realms Dungeons Kickstarter. We've opened the Legends backing back up. So if you want to jump in at the Legend level in digital, you have an opportunity to do that now. And if you're not a Legends backer, you can watch the stream and see that new content, and also know that the physical game that you're going to be getting is going to be so much better tested than anything we've ever done before, because we're going to be gathering all this game data and making balanced adjustments before we even print the cards for the first time. So it's really an exciting thing that we're doing with the digital. And I know a lot of the Legend backers are super excited about it. So that's what we've got going on the stream. And of course, the Hero Realms Dungeons Kickstarter is at 1 week now, and the support has been incredible. We've raised $550,000, which is a new record for us for the first week. And all this support, of course, means lots more stretch goals. So there's going to be a ton of promo cards in this Kickstarter pack. But it also means that, there's a lot of love and support out there for Hero Realms, which will mean more content down the road. We're also getting a bunch of new players in this Kickstarter, and of course that's going to grow the community. So we absolutely love to see it. Super excited about the level of support you guys have shown, and the whole team is very thankful. We've been working very hard for a very long time on this dungeon stuff. Let's see. I have a question about the Legends card stretch goals. As someone who's going to be in one of these cards, will you guys do like you did with Rise of Empire and have lock cards available in the Pledge Manager? Yeah, so this is something that we did. So stretch goals from previous Kickstarters we've made available on future Kickstarters. And one of the things we did with Rise of Empire was say, all right, if you want to get extra sets, you can do that, and we basically we make that available as a add-on. That we'll probably do that in the Pledge Manager for this Kickstarter as well. I don't think I'm going to put it on the page now because it can be a little confusing for new backers, but that is something where we did with Rise of Empire, and we'll probably do going forward. Okay. Yeah, so that card is from, I'm pretty sure that is in the Dungeons, that's artwork from the Dungeon set. I can't remember the name of the card it's on. I think it's in the main set as opposed to a promo card, but
yeah, I think so also.
Yeah.
But if anyone on the team is watching and they know the name of
or people who've been playing in the beta, I am notoriously bad with card names. So that's all right.
Let's see.
That's well, we just thought it was appropriate for that to be the most powerful stretch goal. I love that question.
Yeah, that's the reason why Al is asking that question.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so we have there's a really cool update on the Kickstarter. If you have a chance, check it out, where we talk about art adjustments. So basically, we have a lot of the stretch goals are featuring Kickstarter backers, or not Kickstarter, sorry, Legend tournament winners, members of the community, Legend tournament winners, and the art that we had for that as we were posting the art. Some people commented that they found the art style on the ones featuring real people to be a little bit jarring. We of course have the art that we have at this stage is pretty far along, but we always do passes on stuff before we actually go to print. You'll see that with some of the Rise of Empire cards on like the promos where you had the art in that we put on the stretch goal list, and then the final card art is is a little brighter or nicer, little touch ups, etc. So our lead artist Antonis, who's amazing, went through and is making just those revision passes to all the Legend winner artwork. And it's a really neat process, and you can see some really nice improvements to the artwork and just sort of smoothing it in the style to make it a little more consistent with the rest of the art in the set. And the results are phenomenal. I showed a couple examples on there, but Antonis is doing that to like every single card in the in the set. So it's just really awesome looking stuff.
I've heard Elf Treasure Hunter and Elf Explorer, but it is in the market deck. So so there was another question here, Rob. Why are you not showing many new cards in the campaign? Almost no actual cards are shown. So that's good feedback for updates.
Sure, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we have shown a bunch of cards previously on the live stream, so we can put more in the campaign itself.
Yeah, that's good feedback.
We can put it in updates.
Pretty much all these cards are spoiled anyway because, as I said, we're testing them in the app. So yeah, we can do some updates showing showing some more cards. So we have a few cards from every faction on the Kickstarter page, but we can certainly show some more spoilers in updates or whatnot because as I said, the beta players are seeing everything. So
and Derek told us not to show any cards because he wants more people to come to his live streams on Wednesday.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
so you can definitely stop in tomorrow, watch Derek play, and you'll see him there. But that's a great suggestion. Yeah, we can add more. We can do some updates with showing off some of the cards.
I know we sent some to the Heroes Dungeons mailing list before the Kickstarter went live in spoiler email, but I think we either posted a blog post or I have one drafted. So Rob, I can give you a link so you can
those
post
cards
that.
that we've already spoiled. We can just add to an update so that more backers have a chance to get eyes on them.
It's really good feedback because not everyone in the campaign watches our live stream. But we're not hiding the cards.
We don't get like 10,000 viewers. I don't know.
We're not hiding the cards, so don't worry. We'll share more. I think that's really good feedback. And Derek is looking at the market deck. It is Elf Treasure Hunter. So someone else on our team had suggested a name, but they were probably looking at an older version of the card.
Or it's possible we changed the name since the prototype, but you get the idea. It's in the market deck, and the artwork in this set is just really awesome.
So Wash Bearable. Is there a reason for this campaign not having any social stretch goals like your other ones? Well, normally we add, if we do social stretch goals, we tend to do them mid-campaign when to keep the energy up on the campaign. And we've been talking about possibly doing some. I usually come up with these very creative ideas, and then everyone doesn't think anyone would be interested in doing.
Although with this Kickstarter, we have, as we did with Rise of Empire, we have pre-designed all the stretch goal cards. So basically, we have this big giant set of promos that in a perfect world we would unlock all of, and we've pre-designed these, and so we are limited into how many stretch goals we can do because of this pre-designed stuff. We're trying very hard to narrow the window between when the Kickstarter ends and when fulfillment happens. So basically we're not creating new content on the fly. This is pre-done stuff. So yes, we have a bunch more stretch goals available. Some of them we may or may not do a social stretch goal for them, or we may have everything in the standard stretch goal format. But don't worry, there are a ton of promo cards for this. We have an amazing set of promos designed for you guys.
I back to Kickstarter because now I spend a lot of time on Kickstarter when we're running Kickstarter, and the downside of that is I get sucked into other Kickstarters and I see ads when I'm on Board Game Geek. I backed a campaign called Witchy Cakes. It's just a fun, cute little game about witches making cakes. And they have a social stretch goal where if 25 people post a witchy selfie of themselves to Twitter, then they'll unlock a goal. So I went ahead and I posted a witchy selfie of myself on Twitter. And then I searched the hashtag and I'm the only one.
Oh,
because I was like, oh, maybe I'll do this. And like everyone can post selfies as like a ranger, an alchemist, or a bard, you know. And I was thinking, oh, that would be fun. And then I'm like, oh, nobody, I'm the only one. So if anyone has a witchy selfie out there, please post it on Twitter with their hashtag. But if people have ideas or suggestions, like we're always open to ideas and suggestions on how to get the word out about the campaign. You know, as Rob says in the updates, it's super helpful if you post, if you make positive comments, you know, if you see a post or just like a post, that's helpful. I mean, it seems like there's always, like when we first launched the campaign, there's a lot of comments and people are very interested. And then, you know, people, you know, you're very excited, you've already backed, but if you can still be active when you see posts or post about the campaign every so often in a group or, you know, on your social media, that's always appreciated.
And also just pointing out the free app to people is a great way to grow the community as well. Like one of the things that makes me most excited about these Kickstarters is the opportunity to get more people into the Hero Realms community, which means faster queue times in the app, and more players at the conventions, and just just growing the community in general. There's so much awesome community stuff out there with the I'm blanking on the name of the site.
Realms Rising.
Realms Rising, thank you.
And then also realmsrising.com. And Rob actually did a very long interview if you want to hear a lot of details about the campaign on the most recent Sparks and Recreation podcast. I can post a link here, but there's so many awesome, I think they call it, what is it, strats and something, but they have a lot of good strategy articles on there. And, I'm sure they'll continue to add content as people play the new characters as well for the new sets, but they have a ton on the existing set as well.
And lots of fun events like Tavern Brawl, where you get like a team with every character class, etc. So there's a lot of fun stuff going on in the community, and we just love to see it. And the opportunity to grow the community is fantastic.
And always, as we always say, if you want to post links here in the chat of resources for the community, other Discord channels that are Hero Realms focused, totally, or for our other games, we absolutely want you to do that, and we can also help promote. So we've promoted some of these resources like in the digital app as ads, or in our emails and things like that. So you can reach out to me on Facebook, Debbie Moynihan, or just email me, Debbie at wisewizardgames.com.
So a quick non sequitur, Star Realms Rise of Empire. We just did an update posting the rulebook for Rise of Empire. If we would love to get feedback. If you're a backer, you can hop on there, click on the link, and check out the rulebook. Let us know if there's anything missing, any questions you have. This is the first draft. We're going to make edits pass, and then we're going to push it over to the printer. So if you have, so this is a great opportunity to take a look at it. If you have any feedback for us, we would love it. All right. So as I'm sure you guys are familiar with by now, we have the Hero Realms Dungeons box set on Kickstarter. Now there is so much content in this box set. You've got the Alchemist and the Barbarian new characters, score dials for them. You've got the 12 encounter dungeon, a bunch of masters and minions who'll be fighting for that. We have these encounter envelopes where as you go through the dungeon adventure, when you get to each encounter, you'll open up an envelope. It'll have the content inside to play against. All new 80 card market deck. So just phenomenal amount of content for that. Beautiful new game board, which is double-sided. So we've got a PvP game board side, and if you flip it over, we've got a campaign side with a spot for the master to go, and for the master health score dial, and the doom clock, a counter that goes up once each round and will make the bad guys more powerful as it clicks up. And then, of course, there's the adventure tier. The adventure tier features all the new characters. So you get the Alchemist and the Barbarian in the box set itself, and then you get the Bard, the Druid, the Monk, and the Kickstarter exclusive Necromancer in the adventure tier. And for each one of those, including in the box set for the Alchemist and the Barbarian, and then in these packs in the adventure tier, every single one of these new characters has an adventure deck. The adventure deck contains 20 treasure cards for that character and their entire skill and ability tree, and instructions on leveling. So just like when you're playing in the app and you start a character at level 1 and you play and you level up and your skills and abilities improve, you get choices to make there. You can improve your health, you can improve your skill, you can improve your ability card, and then you'll find treasures, and you'll have a choice of 2 different treasures at every time you find treasure. All that is duplicated physically in this adventure deck, which allows you to play the character at any level you want. So basically, you could design a 15th level monk, and just like you get together with your friends and be like, hey, let's play characters. Let's design level 12 characters. Whatever level you want to do, you can design at that level, set them up, make all your choices, and then play them. You can do like a PvP legacy style thing, and where you start at level 1, and you take a note of who wins each game, and every game you level up between games. So you could do like a best of 13 series and theoretically play that. If it's a close matchup, you'll go all the way to level 24. You can make your choices in secret on which treasure you're taking or how you're upgrading, and then when you play, you'll see what your opponent did and advance. So that's a ton of fun for PvP play, and it also allows you to play these characters in any campaign. You want to play the Necromancer through the Ruin of Thandar campaign? No problem. You got the character pack and you got the adventure deck. You'll be able to take that character and play it through the Ruin of Thandar, or vice versa. If you have fighter, thief, cleric, wizard, ranger, you can take them and play them through the dungeon campaign. You can either do that with the by taking the character pack and then the skill tree from Ruin of Thandar, the treasures from Ruin of Thandar, the treasures from Watery Graves, the treasures from the Lost Village, and eventually from Watery Graves, etc. You can use those. Or we've made adventure decks for the original characters. We have a slide for those. So these adventure decks, actually, there's a new one. Sorry. Well, it's all right. Basically, we have adventure decks for the fighter, the cleric, the thief, the ranger, and wizard. Those adventure decks are optional. Basically, you don't need to get them. If you have those original characters and you have the Ruin of Thandar stuff, and you're planning on getting the rest of the Ruin of Thandar stuff, eventually you'll have all the cards to make that would go into the adventure deck, and you'll be able to level your character up. And currently, just with the Ruin of Thandar and the Lost Village, you'll have everything you need to level them to level 12. Once you get Watery Graves, that'll give you everything you need to level them to level 16. And then when the 4th and 5th installments come out, they'll have the next 4 levels worth of treasures each. eventually getting them up to level 24. So you can totally do it that way, and we'll have instructions online on that leveling chart, how to level the characters up. The reason we made these adventure decks was for the original characters, was so that a new player coming in, everything's uniform. They can buy any character pack they want and buy the adventure deck that goes with it, and then they have everything they need to take that character and play it through the any campaign they want. Rune of Thandar, dungeons, campaigns we make in the future. Character pack plus adventure deck equals I have everything I need to level this character. I can play them in campaigns or PvP level. So we initially, when we first made Hero Realms, we had those original 5 characters, and we had we decided to put the leveling stuff in the campaigns. And then as we were working on the dungeon stuff, and we knew, okay, we're bringing in more characters, we're going to have more characters level, more campaigns. We realized, okay, that model's not sustainable. We need to make these adventure deck things. And if so, of course, we needed to go back and make adventure decks for those original classes. So there's been a lot of confusion on the adventure decks. So that's what they are. If you choose to get them, we have a bundle for the original adventure decks on the Kickstarter. So it's like $35 to get all 5. And you'll basically get the treasures, those last treasures early. And we'll also have updated versions of the cards. So yeah. So there's been a few questions
here. Yeah. So Derek, maybe you can take a look at this. So the adventure packs right now, Anna's saying in the FAQ, the adventure packs for the new characters are listed as new stuff for returning backers. Well, for the new characters,
I think they're also listed as new stuff. For the adventure decks are listed as new stuff for returning backers, and it's kind of weird. So they kind of are, because there's going to be 8 treasures that are not in any other content right now, and there's updated versions of the cards, but you definitely don't need them. So we can add a little more detail to that FAQ question.
Thanks, Anna. Well, yeah, we will add that it's not, maybe we should put specifically in there that it's not necessary.
Everywhere I list them on the page, I say, hey, here's how it works. You don't need them if you don't, so basically,
thank you for bringing that up.
Don't feel pressured to buy them. Only get them if like, they're nice. It's convenient to have everything in one spot, and the updated cards and the extra treasures. So that's cool. But if you're planning on getting all the Ruin of Thandar stuff over time, you will get all those treasures and have all that content. And what's currently out is enough to play the existing characters through the Dungeons campaign. So if you're like, oh, I really want to play the fighter through the Dungeon campaign, you'll be able to take the dungeon, the fighter, the skill and ability tree from Ruin of Thandar, the treasures from Ruin of Thandar, the treasures from the Lost Village. Check our website on the instructions on how to level the fighter through dungeons, and then you'll have everything you need. Some of the cards might have minorly changed, but you can just either play what you have printed, or know what the errata is and play the errata version. That's we'll leave that up to the individual players. But
okay, we have more questions. Will the Necromancer be added to the app from Agency 13?
Absolutely. So basically, Kickstarter exclusives in physical form end up in our apps as just regular old expansions. So if you're a Star Realms player, you'll know that we have various Star Realms promo cards up there. In fact, in Hero Realms, the very first expansion that's going to be hitting the regular app very soon contains the promo cards from the first Hero Realms Kickstarter in digital form. So it'll have more cards for your market deck. It also is going to be increasing the level cap for characters from 12 to 14. So some more treasure cards, etc. So yes, the Necromancer will be coming into the app,
but not for a while.
No, yes. So basically, a couple things. One, in the next couple months on that special beta server, the Necromancer will be coming there, and just like all the other characters, will be tested. All this content we're putting on the beta server, we're basically doing the quick and dirty version of getting it into the game, so it won't have all the sound effects and all the user interface stuff and the visual effects that the final version will have. It won't have the campaign content and all the bells and whistles that get added for a full digital release. The purpose of the stuff in the beta is balanced playtesting. We want people to be able to play these characters, level them up, get all those treasure choices, get all those skill ability choices, see which things people are choosing, and then see how those perform, make sure that everything's balanced. And I'm sure there's going to be some things where some things are too weak, some things are too powerful. We're going to make adjustments. We'll tweak them as we go. And when we get to the point where we're happy with the balance level on all those, then we will take those files and finalize the print files and send that off to the printer with the adjustments. So basically, on this beta server, you're seeing the stuff way early. So basically, some of this stuff is going to be a year or two before it's in the main version of the digital app, because we got a lot of content to put out. We've got the Ancestry pack, we've got Journeys, with the first Kickstarter promo pack, the Journeys promo pack. All these are going to be sets that come out in the digital form. Most of those are going to be appearing before any of the Dungeons content and new characters. So we got a long work list on the digital side to catch up on.
Okay. Can we see more actual card details from Brent in the campaign?
Oh, so I think we mentioned this earlier. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
I read
this
as more of the campaign cards.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, but.
But that said, I am actually working with our graphic designers, making pretty versions of the card content from the first couple encounters in the Dungeons campaign. I'm planning on doing a playthrough video with those and posting that to the Kickstarter in the next probably in about a week and a half or so. And we'll also put do an update showing off some of the stuff. So I don't want to spoil too much of the campaign, but one of the great things about the Dungeons campaign is it's deep. There's 12 encounters to play through, so I can play through the first couple without and sort of show how the mechanics of that work without spoiling too much so that when you guys play through, you'll be able to experience the stuff for the first time.
Could you talk for a few minutes about how the campaigns work? Because we've had some questions about, how does it work how does it work for the different number of players?
Sure.
Does it work like Rune of Thandar has come up?
Mostly the campaign works like Rune of Thandar. So basically you'll have these little envelopes and you'll open them up and they'll have content inside. And it's kind of like the adventure book in Rune of Thandar, where it'll say, okay, encounter 1, and it'll tell you how to set up and etc. So basically that stuff will live in these little envelopes. It allows us to have sort of more secret and surprise content, which is kind of fun. And so you'll open it up, you'll have a master card, and there is in the gameplay there is a master area, works just like in the Rune of Thandar campaign. So basically in the campaign play, there are bad guys. Bad guys are referred to as the masters. And they have these large oversized cards, and they have special abilities, and they have health. So they'll have a health dial, or you track their health just like you would with the player. So there's a health dial that comes in the set for the master. It's a 3-digit dial because if you have a big game, some of the bad guys, maybe they'll have like 30 health per player. If you're playing a 5-player game, you got 150 health to track. So so basically there'll be a health dial for the master, and then each player has an area and the master has an area. So this is the same as in the Rune of Thandar. So basically if you have a 5-player game, you sit around the table and basically your party order, and then there between the first player and the last player, there's like a barrier, and not an actual barrier, but basically that you mentally think of, okay, as you're going around the table, you have the beginning of the party, and the player who's in front is only next to the player behind them. And then as you go through, the players in the middle have someone to their left and right, and the player in the back only has the one player next to them. Some bad guys, some monsters will go into the player's area. When there's a monster in your area, you can only attack that once, and then there might be guards and regular monsters, and the guards will protect the regular monsters in your area, same as normal. If you defeat all the monsters in front of you, you are then able to use your combat to attack monsters in the player area to your left and to your right. You can also use your combat to attack the master's area. In the master's area, there will be a master, the bad guy with a health dial, and there may also be minions. Elite minions go into the master's area, and so you can use your combat to attack those guys. Again, guards work normally. If there's a guard in the master's area, you have to defeat that before you can go after other stuff. If you've cleared your area and you gain health, you can either gain the health yourself, or you can use it to heal the player to your left or to your right. So healing is really fun and useful in the campaign play. The way the turns work, when a player takes a turn, the first thing that happens is the bad guy goes on their turn. And this is where the dungeons works differently than the Ruin of Thandar. So in the Ruin of Thandar, the bad guy has a deck, and they'll flip over cards from the deck, and there's like there's level up cards where if the master accumulates enough of them, they level up, etc. We did things a little bit differently in dungeons for this portion. So the master does not have a deck. The master has cards that are available. So like if there's an encounter with like goblins, you might have like goblin warriors or goblin warlord or various goblin cards, the minion cards, which will be in play. And then there's the health dial, and then there's the doom clock. The doom clock is a score dial where you basically click up the round. So when I play, then Debbie plays, then Steve plays, and okay, that's all of us. Then that completes a round, and the doom clock clicks up by one. It starts at 1, clicks up as you play, and several of the monsters and minions might reference the doom clock. So, for example, the troll, the first bad guy that you fight, each round it gets to attack and do damage equal to the doom count. So that'll get nastier, more powerful as the game continues. So when my turn starts, first thing that happens is the bad guy goes. So the bad guy will have an activated ability on the master usually. So basically like an expend ability. So just like a champion would. And then the market row moves. Basically, the last card furthest from the market deck gets sacrificed. It goes to the sacrifice pile. All the other cards move over, and a new card flips out onto the market. The faction of that new card that is entering the market will give a special ability to the master for that round. So basically, they'll have abilities that they gain based on the faction of that new card that comes out. So masters will have an activated ability. They'll have a triggered ability based on the faction of the new card that comes out. There may be some things that trigger when the doom clock hits certain numbers. And there'll be minion cards that some encounters will have. So there'll be lots going on in that. So basically, so if you're familiar with the Ruin of Thandar, the rules are very similar. So basically, same player area rules, same healing rules, same combat rules, same villainous attack rules. Everything's all those rules are the same. The big difference is the Dungeons box set uses the Doom Clock mechanic, and the Ruin of Thandar series uses a Master Deck mechanic. One of the reasons why I went with this different style with this is with the with the Dungeons campaign, I wanted to give people a really long play session. So basically, in the Rune of Thandar, we have a lot going on in each encounter, different ways the encounters can be played, different bad guys you can fight in the various encounters. The replayability is through the roof on the Rune of Thandar stuff, but it's taking us a very long time to get that content out. So basically, you've got 3 encounters in the Rune of Thandar, 3 encounters in the Lost Village. Watery Grave is going to come out. It's got the next 3 encounters. So you got tons and tons of replay on those encounters, but you don't have a ton of encounters to play through. Here, I wanted to pack a lot of encounters into this single box set. So having like the assembly of the decks of cards and having all those different decks would be a lot for that number of encounters. So this was a sort of a simplified system that would make it a little easier for new players and allow me to give you more encounters to play through. Both systems are super fun, and you can play through the Rune of Thandar, play through the dungeons, and we'll have more campaigns in the future. And and some of the backers were actually talking about, hey, could we provide assets to make it easier for players to design their own campaigns and put people through. And I thought that was a fantastic idea. So we'll be looking into like player generated content, also us making more content, etc. Over time.
Yeah, although I haven't played it because, well, I'm not a fluent Spanish speaker. I know the Spanish group for Hero Realms has created some campaign content.
But yeah,
we haven't reviewed or anything, but
so basically we want to make official ways for people to make campaign content and provide resources so that you have our copywritten materials to use, so you're not violating other people's copyrights with art, etc. So that's something we're looking at long term, but for now, with the dungeons, you're going to get a lot of gameplay through that, and also very exciting, and as I said before, it would be huge news otherwise. Watery Graves is available in this Kickstarter. It's available as an add-on, but that is by no means to take away the awesomeness of this content. We are actually going to have Danny Mendel, Danny and Ben from Super Awesome Games are going to be on here next week, and they are going to be talking about Watery Graves. So if you have questions about Watery Graves or the Rune of Thandar campaign in general, those guys are going to be on. They are fantastic game designers. They've been working on it through the Rune of Thandar series, but they've also funny. They're fun. They're funny.
If you missed them when they were guests on the stream a while back, they were very funny.
Yeah. Ben and Danny are a riot. And they've done a lot of work in the game industry. So like for example, they did like the Aliens for Legendary and a whole bunch of Legendary stuff. They are prolific game designers, really talented, a lot of fun. So if you can also ask them about their other games when they're on stream. But anyway, next week, Super Awesome Games will be here, and they are the designers of the Rune of Thandar campaign. Come by and check it out. And Watery Graves is awesome. I'm not going to go too much into it now because next week we're going to be focusing on Watery Graves. But there's an update showing some of the awesome art in Watery Graves on the Kickstarter. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. Super cool.
So we have a bunch more questions.
All right, fire away.
If I get the all-in tier, will the original Hero Realms content ship early?
So no, if you want to get the original Hero Realms content early, just go ahead and get the adventure tier, and the dungeons, the regular Hero Realms content's available at your friendly local game store. It's available on our website, etc. So there's lots of places to get it. For logistics reasons, we are shipping everything all at once. So if you want, the all-in tier is awesome. It's got great discounts. It's really cool. If you want to get the all-in tier, fantastic. But you will be waiting until Dungeons is ready to ship. If you don't want to do that, just go ahead and get the Dungeons tier, the Adventure tier. Fantastic content in that. You'll love it when it comes. And in the meantime, you can then just go buy whatever Hero Realm stuff you want, either through our website or friendly local game store for immediate play. Also, check out the Hero Realms app. There is a ton of fantastic plan there. There are campaigns in the Hero Realms digital app. They are completely separate from the campaigns in physical. We wanted to design campaigns for physical that were using good physical mechanics, and design campaigns for digital that we're doing stuff we can't really do in physical, and works really well in digital. So you can play through those campaigns and you won't spoil anything about the physical campaigns, and vice versa. So that's super fun.
Important question.
How is Derek doing? I believe he's doing great, but we'll let Derek probably pick one out.
We see him regularly on Zoom. He has the cutest little new baby, Ransom. But yeah, Derek, if you want to answer how you're doing, I can share your response to that. Okay, next question. Is there a chance of stretch goal treasure cards for the new characters?
So basically, one of the things we did with the original characters is we had some treasure cards that we had as stretch goals, and I'm not doing that with the new characters, primarily because we're designing all their treasures at once and putting them in those adventure decks. So you have basically there's 20 treasure cards for each new character class that you'll get right out of the gate in that adventure deck. So no, we won't have additional treasure cards for the characters, but there's 20 of them. So you're going to have 20 bard treasures. You'll have 20 necromancer treasures, 20 barbarian treasures, etc. So yeah, no, there won't be additional stretch goal ones, but we've got all that content designed, beautiful artwork, etc. And that's going to be right in those adventure decks.
So this question's actually been asked by multiple people who've joined since we previously answered it. I think we should do an update talking about this on the Kickstarter, but it's basically, do I need the adventure decks, for the original characters? Yeah.
So I'll reiterate super quickly. The answer is, if you're willing to wait for all the content to come out through the Rune of Thandar campaigns, then no, everything in the original characters adventure decks is redundant. We will have updated cards, and we will have all the treasure cards for those original classes, including the ones in the 4th and 5th installment of Rune of Thandar, which are not yet out. So basically, if you either want to have everything conveniently in one place, or you want to get those new cards early, go ahead and grab the adventure decks. Otherwise, really, the adventure decks are for new players coming in, so that every single class will have a character pack and an adventure deck. And when you get those two, you can play them through any campaign you want. So there's a sweet bundle, $35 to get all 5 adventure decks for the original classes. There will have 8 treasures in each of those that are currently not available anywhere else, but those 8 treasures, 4 of them will come in the 4th adventure, and 5 of them will come in the other 4 will come in the 5th adventure for Rune of Thandar. So eventually, if you're patient, you'll get all that content if you have all the.
Pickpocket wants to know, how patient does he need to
be? Very patient. So it's been about 2 years per box set campaign for the Thandar series. So probably we'll have the series done in like 2027 or 2028 or something.
Join next week and let Danny and Ben know how enthusiastic you are about getting that.
Writers take time. If you're a fan of the Game of Thrones series, you're familiar with this type of pain. So yes, so unfortunately it is going to be there is a long road, and we basically don't rush the content. We really want to make it awesome. But yeah, it'll be a while. Sorry.
Yeah, that's also a great question to ask them. Let's see, I think we answered all the questions here. Let me see. No, we answered that one. Okay, this is a question related to Kapow, Wash Bearable. So later this year, I don't know.
Yeah. So
now, but
so basically, we're getting ready to do the retail release of Kapow Volume 1, and Kapow Volume 2 will be later this year, probably this summer. It's printed, of course. We got Kickstarter backers got both at once, but we didn't want to overwhelm or confuse retail. So basically, we're putting out Kapow Volume 1. Later in the year, we'll put out Kapow Volume 2. Kapow is super fun, awesome dice superhero game. So if you haven't checked that out, it's awesome and well worth a play. And we'll be showing it off at PAX when we're at PAX East. If you happen to be in Boston, you can come by and see us and roll some superhero dice.
So Pickpocket's just happy to hear there are 5 boxes planned. So
yes, yeah.
Great.
So basically, there's an overall story which Ben and Danny have like sketched out, and and obviously it gets flushed. The stories get fully flushed out as they are writing the campaign stuff. So we are so Watery Graves is in the final. We have all the artwork and all the stuff designed, and they're doing balancing on the on the final encounter in it. And that'll be printed at the same time as the dungeons and the new character packs, etc. So we've got we're going to be doing a massive print job for Hero Realms in the very near future.
So I think we're caught up on. Oh, Karen really wanted 21 treasure cards.
Fair. But I think you'll enjoy the 20.
Jose cannot wait for the new Sorcerer content.
Oh yes, so Sorcerer, Endbringer, all that stuff is on Tabletop Simulator. It's being pushed to the printer now. I don't know the exact schedule, but they're at Chinese New Year right now. When they get back, hopefully shortly, that stuff will be printed. We cannot wait to get it out to backers. And for the first time in the Dungeons Kickstarter, the Kickstarter exclusives from Sorcerer are available. Obviously, Sorcerer and Bringer backers will get those first, and then when the Dungeons fulfills, if you miss the Sorcerer and Bringer Kickstarter, you can get in the Pledge Manager for the Dungeons campaign. You can add on those Kickstarter exclusive packs if you want, and there is so much awesome new content for Sorcerer in there.
I think we've covered everything. We had a couple of slides on the score dials.
So basically, all right.
I guess this shows all of them.
These are the new character score dials. So this is if you're getting those, we've got score dials for every character: the original, the ranger, the wizard, the thief, etc. Also for the new characters like the monk, the necromancer, the druid, and then in the Dungeons box set, you get 4 score dials. That's one slide up there. And you'll get one for the alchemist and for the barbarian. They're each of the character score dials is double-sided, featuring both artworks for the character. And then there's a master score dial, 3-digit score dial for tracking the master's health, and then the doom clock for score dial for tracking basically the time clock in the game. Of course, if you're not playing the campaign, that means you'll have 4 score dials available for PvP play if you like.
I just want to do a shout out to the graphic design team because you see all these assets that we show you. Like, we don't have physical score dials. We've designed them, but they allow backers to be able to see what the product's going to look like ahead of time. I was watching a video that was looking at our Kickstarter page and critiquing it, which was kind of an interesting format. But one of the things that they complimented us on was how it was really awesome that we had already designed packaging and you were able to see what it was going to look like. So, I know our design team's been working super hard on all of those assets.
Yeah. And working, there's so much content in the stuff that we make. So for example, we were talking about Sorcerer Endbringer a minute ago, so much content in that, and putting all those cards together and etc. Mammoth task. Done a fantastic job with that. Rulebook layouts. We just posted the rulebook for Rise of Empire, and writing the rules is the easy part. Getting it to look pretty and in those nice formats with pictures and layout. It's a lot of work. And they did a great job with that. And of course, we're putting together all that Rise of Empire, making all those print ready files. So basically taking all those files and making sure that the bleed areas on the printing are correct and the colors are all matched properly, et cetera, et cetera. So there's just a ton that goes into it. And our graphic design team's just been doing a phenomenal job with that and creating assets for the Kickstarter. So just doing great.
Scordell's resin, and of course this is someone from Germany asking this question because they had resin.
They are not resin. They are just like the ones in the Star Realms Deluxe Nova collection. They are the board stock Scordell. So they're really nice, good quality. They're large. They're bigger than the resin ones from that Blackfire made, but they are not that super nice resin material. So so yeah, they're about yay big. They're just a really nice size, very visible on the table when you're playing.
Yeah. So I think we've answered all the questions that have come up. So thanks everyone for joining.
And you can of course always hop into the comments section on in the Dungeons Kickstarter and ask any additional questions that pop into your head. Derek and I are on there throughout the day, answering questions there as well.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone. Thank you.